Yo, what's up, guys? Can you hear me, Dan? What's up, Andre? No, Andre.
I can hear you. What's up?
There we go.
I was muted.
Yeah, it's always like that, bro. It's always like that in the beginning. What's
I
up, Dan?
By the way, I checked my sound input to make sure it's correct.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, no more echoes. What's up, Dan? How are you? You're muted, by the way.
Unmute. There you go.
Dan.
Dan, you have to unmute yourself there. On the actual, yeah, there we go.
There it is.
Hey, how we doing?
What's up?
Good.
You know what? It's a funny thing. Every stream I watch, I'm watching, and Andre's like, audio doesn't work, and I'm thinking, yeah, got to make sure my audio's working for the first time I come on. And here we go, on mute straight.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm all good, thanks. Just been full of cold last couple of weeks. I cannot shake it. Also, if I sound a bit nasally at the moment, it's just because I'm just all bunged up. But other than that,
no worries. No worries. It's you're in UAE, right?
Yeah, Abu Dhabi.
I was gonna say, okay. I was gonna say you're maybe low vitamin D, but you get a lot of vitamin D there, so you're
Oh, we get plenty. But the thing is, though, in the summer, it's brutal here.
Yeah,
like you get to like June, July, like you're living in the shopping malls because it is like 50 degrees Celsius, or I don't know what that is Fahrenheit, but it's hot. So yeah, but this time of the year here is beautiful though. It's so nice, like 22 degrees right now, so pretty nice.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah, we got it pretty hot here where I'm at the moment. It's like 35 degrees Celsius today. It's like 95 Fahrenheit. But yeah, I wanted to show, before we get in the opens, obviously in 10 minutes, but I just want to show this thing. I don't think I've ever seen this on the screener yesterday, bro.
Dude, it was insane.
Where's the thing? There you go. Look at that. Look at that yesterday, bro.
I've never seen it before.
I've never seen it. I mean, there's at least like 5% bullish or something like that, but it's literally everything was red. Did you manage to, how did you guys go yesterday? I managed some shorts on YM.
I took shorts on ES. Well, the algo, I also took the algo shorts on ES, but I took the shorts on ES and left like so much on the table. I just stopped. Like after this initial, or I'm not showing my screen. Let me pull up my screen quick.
Sure, yeah.
On ES, after it broke the orb here, the initial trade was actually from this candle. So being short from here down, and then I took shorts again, but then like this whole thing, I didn't catch it. I was like, I don't know how much further it can go. Then NQ goes another 100 points, then another 100 points, then another 100 points. And I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not trying to like, I can't go short after an orb that's 225 points. And then the next 15-minute candle is 85 points. The next 15-minute candle after that is 150 points, like in the same direction. It's not even like there was any like forgiveness on this on the downside there, but I caught a little bit of it, but left a lot on the table yesterday. Like not the best execution, but like I said a while ago, I'm not good at holding on to runners. It's just not my style. But Dan, did you catch anything yesterday?
No, like I said, I've been feeling rubbish for the past couple of weeks. So I've not done any manual trading for a good week and a half now. But the algos have been running nicely, to be fair. So that's the beauty of the algos, isn't it? I suppose. Like,
exactly.
I've been proper sick, but they've been doing the job. But it's like you see that screener yesterday. It's like, which position do I take? Do I go long? Do I go short? Yeah. I mean, I looked in hindsight yesterday. I was like, whoa. Like, what did actually happen yesterday? Because that's one hell of a
well,
drop.
Microsoft was down 10% from earnings. Meta was up a bit, but fading away. And then, yeah, that's kind of what just caused a sell-off, I would say. And then obviously there's maybe a few other factors, post FOMC too, right, Andre?
There was another Fed chair that was selected.
Yes.
Kevin something.
Yeah.
There was also tech earnings yesterday. Meta was the only one that was pretty much up.
Correct.
But
Yeah.
BTC below 85,000 now, which is hard to believe. GC.
Dude, silver's down 14% today.
Let's see. Nope. Here. Yeah, I mean, do we get some? I'm on the daily chart now, but was that it? Was that the move? Because the futures here are, this daily candle is down 20% in one day. Like the range of this candle is 20%. So from the high to the low, that's 20%. That is a meaningful move. And then if we add the volume on here, I'm surprised, honestly, that the volume was much lower, actually, on this candle than all of the 4 prior candles, which is that is pretty surprising, to be honest. But even if I go to now, which is crazy, one other thing that I noticed, well, that I actually saw on Twitter is...
You saw it on Twitter, it must be right.
Gold officially is outperforming Bitcoin in a 5-year period as of today.
Wow, that's interesting.
That's crazy. So the blue line is Bitcoin, and obviously the candles here are gold.
Yeah.
For the first time since October 2023, gold is now like reclaimed. And if we
that's in percentage based.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And silver has outperformed both of them over that same exact period. So the green is silver. I'll actually just change the colors here so it's a little bit easier to. I'm going to make the Bitcoin orange. I'll make the silver gray. So silver outperformed by a meaningful amount. Obviously, all the performance came from November to now, which is hard to believe. But yeah, I mean, I would not have thought that this would have happened, to be honest.
No one would, though. It's just been crazy, isn't it? Like I got friends who are not traders, not investors, and they're all talking silver, talking gold. Like it's just like a talk of everybody, isn't it? Everybody's talking about it. Usually, like people start talking about it who aren't traders, who aren't investors. Usually, it's time to feel a little bit nervous about it. But I don't know. It just keeps.
Sell it all.
Like, I don't know. Like, it's like, I don't know if it's ever going to stop.
Yeah. When I heard something also on Twitter, it's like when your Uber driver is telling you to buy a stock, that's like the time to sell.
Get the hell out.
Hey, there's so many of these like short form content videos of like these Uber drivers who are maybe they're like driving like a Tesla or something. They got the screens and they got like Platform X on their literal screen, like taking live trades as they're doing their taxi rides. I mean, that's just mental.
Yeah, they should be running the algos, honestly. But I saw a comment here. Can you guys make your camera frame smaller so that we can see the screen more? I zoomed in. Does it look better? I can zoom in a little bit more. I don't want to zoom in like too much, but is this better for you guys? Just want to make sure you guys can actually see this, obviously. This is full screen, like for my frame. Yeah. I just like for the viewers, I want to make sure that it's good because, okay, great. So just to touch on what's going on right now, I'll turn off give me 1 second. Okay. So just to touch on what's going on right now, let me clean this up. Let me clean up my charts. Okay. We have here price right near on NQ is to the left, ES is to the right. Price is right next to the midnight open right now. I'm obviously expecting it to be touched at some point throughout the session. I'm definitely not expecting just a flush with that, at least a pop to touch this yellow line. So on NQ right now, that would be roughly 40 points. If you guys have decide to, which I usually don't recommend, but if you do want to like scalp the open, this yellow line on NQ is going to be a good target. And then on ES, it's not really that big of a move. It's only 2.5 points, but this yellow line, I definitely want to expect to get hit after the market opens. Then we have gap fill 0.67%, pretty big gap on NQ. Not as big on ES. The thing is, if we're going to lean bullish today, I want to expect the previous day's high to be broken, but previous day's range was absolutely enormous.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure how that's going to work. I actually am going to build out a inside bars report, but a sub report that allows you to filter for how big the previous day's range is. So how likely is price to break out of previous day's range based on the size of the previous day? So in this case, what you'll be able to see is like, okay, this day was 2.5% range. Now, how likely is it today that price breaks out of that range from yesterday? Which would be honestly mostly important on a day like today, where there is an outsized move where like maybe the inside bar stats are not going to be as strong just because it's going to be a 350 point move to the top side and a 280 point move to the downside. Like it's a meaningful move. So I'm not super confident on the gap fill. I kind of want to see how things play out. I think once we get the structure of the orb, it'll give me some more to go off of.
What I'm seeing here as well, Andre, just something interesting is YM did take out its previous New York, at least pre-market. Remember, I'm looking at pre-market and post-market trading. We did take out the previous day's lows on YM, NQ, and ES, still trading within those. Dan, what are some reports that you like to use with edgeful? And maybe, maybe also give the guys a little bit of a background onto who you are, because obviously I don't think they've seen you on the stream before.
Yeah, so my name's Dan Cook, obviously. I've been trading for live trading for about a couple of years now. Got into trading about 4 years ago. I was in the deep lockdown in Shanghai, China at the time. I was a school teacher in Shanghai at the time, and it was just like, it was wild at the time. Like they were like putting bars on my front door and stuff. I was locked in, like couldn't get out at all, and just had money coming in from the school teaching job. Couldn't spend any of the money because you just couldn't do anything, couldn't go anywhere, couldn't order food, couldn't do anything. So for the first time in my life, I had money coming in and I couldn't spend it. And, you know, for me, before that, I probably wasn't very good with money at all. Well, actually, I wasn't very good with money. I'd get money, I'd spend money. But this was the first time I was like, oh, okay, I'm actually getting some savings in now. What can I do with it? And eventually, I don't know how I managed to come across it, but came across trading. Kind of went down the whole YouTube University thing, watching every video going, you know, seeing YouTube videos showing free indicators crossing, buy, sell, getting excited, thinking, yeah, this is it. This is going to be the strategy to do it. And then obviously it's you learn that's a load of rubbish, and you start taking it seriously eventually. And yeah, I learned trading through the Forex lens, but then eventually a couple of years ago, got into futures, started live trading with Top Step, because a couple of years ago, it was only a couple of years ago, Top Step was like one of the only options really with futures. It's crazy now the amount of like options people have these days, and the competition between them is just great. But back then it was only Top Step, and I was just like blowing money on combines, reset fees as well, and even when passing the combines, the activation fees as well for those. So it was just lots of money spent on that, blowing accounts, and just eventually I've just over the last sort of, especially last year and a half, just really dumbed things down, simplified things. And it's just, I've managed to get some success going for me in the last year or so, which has been great. But the edgeful report, if I share my screen, hold on a second.
Yeah, if you click
on the
bottom there.
The first time I'm there. Right, okay. So can you see my screen?
Hold on one sec, we just got to pull it up. Let me pull this down. Remove.
The market has opened, by the way.
Yeah, the market's open right now.
Yeah.
Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah.
We
so
can see trading view,
the main, yeah, you can see trading view. Yeah. So the main kind of edgeful report which I use is the initial balance by rejection. That I think that for me lately has been like, it's been a really, really great report, really simple. So basically, if we look at this trade from yesterday, we had the initial balance high formed first. We had the initial balance low formed second, which is great. So I'm looking for shorts. And the way I'm looking is these here are the different sort of retracement levels. And I'm looking for retracements either to the 25% level or the 50% level, and then capturing moves lower. Looking towards the break of the initial balance low and then sort of taking profits then. That's sort of the main edge report that I've been using more and more. Yesterday would have been technically for me a no trading day because it, according to my rules, didn't quite, because I've got limit orders there, the 25% wouldn't have hit and it closed outside the initial balance. So would have been a no trade day. So that's sort of how I'm trading at the moment, and that's that edgeful report is just it's my go-to for sure.
Yeah, we're actually looking to build out more IB reports and just like layers onto some of the existing ones. So I have a few ideas that we're going to be building out, just like customizations that we'll be adding. But yeah, that IB by rejection is like honestly like becoming a concept on Twitter, which is like kind of crazy because I like that name, I made it up. Like almost all the report names are made up on Edgeful by me. So it's kind of weird when I hear people talk about like opening candle continuation. I'm like, wait a minute. Like I made up that name, but it's it is pretty cool, honestly.
I just love how simple it is. Like for me, it's just like you want your trading to be as simple as possible, and for me that is just like it's super simple. I'm clear on the direction, I've got clear levels to trade off. Absolutely
it's the way to keeping it simple is honestly like, especially for beginners, they will quickly overcomplicate how like what they consider in their trading every day, and it becomes like too much. And even like on Edgeful, like we have so many reports that you could easily like go down this rabbit hole of like things that you'll not use. But if you just look at like either your favorite traders or you just like watch a couple of the videos, you'll know that like these are the 4 core reports that you'll use, and whatever they are, they'll like match your trading style or whatever else. But once you do that, everything becomes so simple because you know what you're looking for. Like previous day's range, midnight open, gap fill, IB. Like these are things that set up every single day for the most part. And then you're just like, okay, I know my setup. If it doesn't come up, like some people will take a trade anyway. Obviously, ideally you don't, but like from what I've seen, the people that are most disciplined are the ones that, analysis, paralysis by analysis is real for beginners. Yeah, it's without question, because there's so much, and like there's not a fixed rule, right? Like if you're building Legos, there's an exact step by step. If you want to get from here to here, this is how you're going to do it. Like that doesn't apply in trading. So we try to give you guys the structure for the people watching. We try to give you the structure on what to look at and like what the framework for creating a step-by-step plan is.
But the beauty of the reports is just reports for, which are suited for different times of the sessions, and you can cherry pick the reports that work for you. For me, my 2025 data was telling me that all of my trading in the first 15 minutes, half an hour, it was just rubbish, like absolutely rubbish. And that's how I got drawn to the initial balance in the first place, because like, okay, so I could actually, use this initial balance here just to not get drawn into that first half an hour. It's going to force me to stay out of that first half an hour and then start trading in the, time of day where I'm getting some more success, Yeah,
100%.
So, yeah.
It looks like ES is going to fill this gap, by the way.
Yeah,
which is,
NQ also coming higher.
Yeah. Decent range for this orb so far. We have 10 more minutes. And I'm expecting ES to fill this gap now for sure. If we go to so the way that I have my what's in play here, if we have ES hold on. Huh. Hold on 1 second, guys. Sorry, guys, 1 sec.
Yeah, YM's actually pumping up quite. It's already filled the gap on YM. So Dan, what have you been? Even though you haven't been trading, have you still been watching markets from a discretional trading perspective?
I always. It's like I can't help myself. I can't help myself. I'm always sort of keeping an eye on the markets and just it's one of those where it's sort of I like watching it from a discretion point of view, but at the same time, like it's such a killer when I look at the charts. I've been off the charts because you know, I was ill or whatever, and then I look at it and go, yeah, that would have been a nice win. That would have been a nice trade there. And it's kind of it's one of those, isn't it? But yeah, I can't help myself. I'm always sort of looking at the charts, and I'll just quickly just do some journal notes on just
yeah, sure.
what I saw, how it all played out and everything. Yeah.
All right. Sorry about that. I just noticed that the gap fill here is not correct.
Sure.
That's what I was just
Alec, please come fix it.
yeah. Yeah, please fix this. That's what I literally was just doing. I screenshotted it and was like, we gotta fix this. But we got the orb forming here in a few minutes.
7 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, I usually like to use the orb as some structure. I actually don't love the orb report itself.
Yeah, I don't use the orb report itself as well, but I use the orb.
Because I'm not looking for a single or double break, just because like the stats here, you know what? The stats are not crazy. It's actually 70% single break.
Sure.
Maybe we should change this to the pie chart. Oh, no. Sorry. I have a different customization. Hold on. I was going to say that doesn't sound right.
Geez, Djokovic just beat Sinner, by the way, in the semifinals.
Good. Ooh. What do you think about that? Are you happy or no?
Yes. I love Novak.
Yeah, he's good.
Goat.
Okay, so this is actually why I'm not a big fan of the actual or the standard report. But if I go by weekday, there could be a little bit more direction if you look at orb by weekday. Just for anyone who likes to trade the orb, I won't personally look at, just because it's so close to 50-50, like a break to the upside or break to the downside. Like, I don't really love to do that. But what we see here on Mondays specifically is 70% of the time, price will break one side. Going to Tuesdays, 63, 60. This is actually pretty strong. So like looking at the individual days like might be better. And then you can see like Wednesdays are pretty bad. Thursdays are pretty bad. And then Fridays are also like not great, right? They're just kind of like mixed. So Mondays and Tuesdays are really the days where you can use the orb report because the data is a little bit stronger in one of the directions. But yeah, it's I don't love this report itself. What I do actually use is the by levels. So I'll show you guys quickly. The orb by levels. So orb by levels. What's up, James?
No, finish and I'll tell you. It's a bit off topic.
No, go for it because I'm.
Do you know how many times I've been told this?
Pull him up. Pull him up. I'm pulling up your screen.
Yeah, let's have a look here. Okay. Well, there you go. This guy.
Oh, this guy, the UFC guy? No.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
I know him. Yes.
Here we go.
Yes.
That's funny, dude. I've been told this so many times, bro. Oaks asked me, do I do MMA? I'm like, no, dude.
Did you know who people say I look like? Which I think is, I'm so off. Do you guys think that I look like someone?
I know. I remember I said Aram looks like someone, but I don't know.
People tell me that I look like this guy all the time.
I see it. Wow. I see it. Yeah, I know who you mean.
There was someone in the street not that long ago. You know those people that are like, oh, can you take a survey, whatever, answer this question? And I was like, obviously, no. I don't want to talk, I don't want to do that. I don't know what the strings attached are, whatever it is. So I just always say no. And she goes, has anyone told you look like Shia LaBeouf? I'm like, yeah, actually, my entire life, which is crazy, but I don't see it. But
I think my one is obvious.
Who is it?
Prince Harry. I get that a lot. Get it a lot. I actually get it less these days though, because he's not royal family, proper royal family. Or at least in the UK anyway.
He's been extradited.
Yeah, he's been extradited.
He's been voted off the island.
One of yours now.
Zink goes, I didn't know there was a party on stream today. Damn, where's my invite? Next time. Next time we're going to have 4 in here.
Yeah, we're moving high on NQ, but it's still no real conviction on the longs, though.
Yeah, Prince Harry really fumbled it.
Hey.
Yeah, I thought you guys knew that straight away. I've had Ed Sheeran a little bit, but that's just because of the hair color. I don't see any sort of resemblance apart from the hair color, But Prince Harry, I get that a lot.
Yeah, that's funny. And I see a question here: why orb by levels, not IB? I absolutely use IB by levels as well. I was just saying, of the orb sub-reports, this is my favorite one. So just to touch on this quickly. 2 counter stats gap fill by size is very low for QQQ, but I'll pull that up if you guys want to read that. So I'm going to pull up the levels here. So what am I doing here? What's going on? Why is this not working? Oh, because the orb is not set yet. Okay, in 8 seconds, I'm going to explain this. There it is. Okay, so orb by levels is what I would use for continuation to either direction. So if I look at days that this is very, very key for the orb more than the IB, because the IB is much more likely to break one side, where the orb is much more likely to break both. But if you are looking only at days that break to the downside, which is a smaller set of days, you can use these as targets. Now, what's nice, obviously the orb is going to be smaller, so what you can do is you have higher probability targets that are usually going to be a little bit closer. So today on ES, the orb is 25 points. You have a very high, now assuming that there is continuation, you have confluence to the downside. You have TP1, TP2 with very high data here. 82% touching the 0.5, 77% touching the 1. Now, the only caveat when you're using the orb by levels as compared to the IB by levels is orb will double break 46% of the time. So you're taking out, when you filter for breakdown days, you're taking out a lot of these days. As for the IB very rarely double breaks. So when you're using the IB by levels, you are looking at a much more frequent setup. Like you're looking at a much higher quality setup, in my opinion. So I lean towards the IB for the data, but I look at the structure of the orb levels and the orb algo, because the orb algo is like honestly awesome. But this is that's kind of like the way that I compare or look at the orb versus the IB.
And that's exactly why I trade the retracement levels and the IB entries, because like you said, it is more likely to break one side than doing both. So those are such reliable levels.
Yeah.
If you can nail them at the right time.
Exactly. Yeah. Just give me 1 second.
Yeah, one of my work-ons from this week has just been to stay in line with that edgeful, the screen after the first hour. Remember on Monday, I managed to get the second short for a win on YM, but we took a loss on NQ first, Andre.
What's up?
On Monday, remember we took a loss on NQ going against the kind of like the bias for the day. The
Yeah,
screener.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm actually going to take these off now.
All Mag 7 stocks are red except Tesla and Microsoft. Microsoft's basically break even though.
Tesla's up 2% or nearly 2%.
Let's pull it up.
Someone's asking, have you got broker statements for the algos? You can go into the back testing on them live in TradingView itself. Obviously, that's not going to, like, back testing is not going to be the same as forward testing, but it gives you a good idea.
You know what? Actually, there was, let me pull this up. I'm actually not going to be able to find it. It was a tweet that I found the other day, but whatever.
Yeah, we're still struggling to take out some of these pre-market highs on NQ. You predominantly trade ES, Dan, yourself, right?
No, I'm in 2026 more NQ. Like before 2026, I'd never traded NQ ever. And then I've gone into 2026 trading NQ and I love it. Like I've genuinely fallen in love with the asset. But before that, yeah, it was a lot of ES. But I'm just I'm a one asset at a time kind of guy. So
yeah, it's good to keep your mind kind of focused. James, we spoke about that a long time ago.
Yeah.
The not having like a giant watch list of things that you trade.
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah, you
finally.
But it comes back to what you said before.
Yeah.
What's up, Dan?
So I was saying, it comes back to what you said earlier, doesn't it? In terms of just keeping it simple. Like I am always looking to keep it as simple as possible, and that's where one asset just really just simplifies everything for me. Yeah. So I don't even need to think about trading on another one.
Hold on 1 second. I'm going to pull something up here.
I'd not be surprised to see volume a little bit lower after yesterday's massive range, personally.
I've been talking about Meta on Twitter, on streams, on Spaces for so long. And when they screwed their earnings in late last year, here, I'll go to a 4 hour chart.
October
I was like, give me this stock at 600. Give it to me. I was buying all the way down here into the 600. I had alerts set at 600. This, in my opinion, a reaction like this on a stock like this is just like total overreaction. And I'm not saying it's going to go up, obviously. I'm not saying buy now, but now it's back above 700 when everything else is like in the last few days, like everything has been getting pretty wrecked. Obviously they had great earnings. I honestly didn't listen to the announcement, but we're not that far off from all-time highs now. So all-time highs were 9% off of all-time highs after being 27% off of all-time highs. So I think Meta personally in like the next couple of years could easily see 1,000. Not financial advice, obviously. Don't just buy it because I said that, because I could obviously be wrong. I don't want to hear anything from anyone. But yeah, I think that this is a wonderful company to own.
The new Meta guru.
I mean, I wish I knew more about the company. Honestly, I don't. Yeah, we're getting like not really a lot of anything right now, which is annoying, but it's usually how
it's been choppy since the features open since yesterday.
Yeah.
It's kind of expected really after a massive move down yesterday. And it's Friday as well.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, James.
No, I did also on my pre-market streams say about how the day after FOMC is normally the day that I find my best trades, not on FOMC. I had someone on the live stream saying they torched 12 accounts or something on FOMC day, and I'm like, geez, like if you just waited for the next day, you probably just you cruising, you know.
Dude, you know the craziest part? How much are 12 accounts? Like even call it like the cheap accounts. How much does that cost?
Probably like $700 maybe.
Yeah.
Dude, can you imagine? Can you imagine like in one day, $700, but then we're like, oh yeah, we're going to give you all the data that you need to be able to actually like not get completely destroyed every day by the financial markets. So you can actually take educated trades. $49 a month. That's too much. Oh, do you have a free trial? Oh, do you do discounts? Oh no, $49 is too much. I can't do it. But you know what? I'm going to go light my credit card on fire with every single prop firm in the world. Oh, they have this new deal. Oh, they have these amazing rules. Oh, whatever. Oh, let me not try to improve my trading at all. And then I'm going to go buy 400 accounts a month.
That's wild.
And they complain. Dude, it's unreal, to be honest. I cannot believe some people, dude, it's crazy.
This rant better go on a YouTube short or something.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be clipped because I'm like, yo, some people, I'm literally telling you, this is how often price will break one side of the IB. There's no way for anyone to know that outside. Like this is a simple example because it's right here. Not only do we have the historical data for you to be like, okay, these are the concepts I'm willing to look at. We have the live data to tell you, okay, these reports are setting up right now, and these are the ones you want to focus on when you're looking at what's in play. Zinc, here. IB plus micros, $27,000 payout. Like, it's not that complicated. Like, he's literally trading live every day, but these people are like, you know what? I think $49 is too much. I think that I need a discount. I need a free trial. And if we used to have a free trial, it was 7 days. I need a 30-day free trial. That was what we got. I need a 30-day free trial. I was like, guys, like actually, you're not taking this seriously. If you need a 30-day free trial and you're not willing to pay $49, like this is not for you. Like this is not supposed to be like, oh, I want a holy grail overnight. Like, let me just make money by clicking buttons out of the sky with absolutely zero effort.
Yeah.
That's what people want.
The wild thing is people will buy a $50 prop account and not even second guess it, but they won't invest into something like edgeful for $50 a month because they don't want to waste the money, you know.
Dude, it's
the FOMC thing. It's just a simple rush, isn't it? It's like going to the casino and putting it all on black.
It is. I'm going to open up a prop firm after I heard that person. I said, I'm opening up a prop firm. I'm only allowing trading on FOMC, CPI, and NFP days.
Exactly.
Dude, that's guaranteed loot.
But it's quite interesting though about the free thing, right? Because there was this trader I was listening to talking about. He basically had a course or he had a streaming service of some kind, right? And he was saying that last year he gave it for free. So his course he gave for free, his stream he gave access for free for a couple of days and stuff. And despite people having access to the course and the streaming content for free, he found that 65 or 70% of the people who signed up for it never actually watched the full course or watched the streaming content. Do you know what I mean? And then he started charging for it, and the engagement he had in that course and those streams doubled.
Of course.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? You give people it for free, they don't take it seriously.
I know.
But then you make them pay. And, you know, I've been guilty of that. Definitely in my time. I've done it before. I've signed up for something for free, and I thought, I'll do it eventually, and then never do it. You know, but when you pay for it, you know, you take it seriously. I think sometimes it's just the way it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're all guilty
of
it.
It's I just think that, like, even with the free trial, we had a 7-day free trial for such a long time, and we actually we're removing it on February 1st. So whoever's watching, if you want the free trial, it's going to be gone on February 1. That's it. We're not doing any more free trials. Now, the reason that exactly what Dan just said, if you get something for free, you don't value it. Period. I don't care who you are. Like, no, I will value it. No, you don't, actually. Also, I invited Zinc to the stream, so Zinc is coming. But what happens is you have a 7-day free trial, a 7-calendar day free trial. There's 5 trading days in a week. So let's say that you get the free trial, you open up edgeful. And then now you're like, okay, there's a lot to learn. There's a lot of videos I need to watch. I don't really have time right now. Let me do it tonight. Maybe you watch a video, maybe you don't. 1 day goes by, 2 days goes by. Now, maybe you open it back up. Maybe like you have it open, but maybe you're not watching the videos and you're not really like doing a proper onboarding because you're like, well, it's a free thing, like whatever. And the weekend comes around. Now the weekend's coming around. Now the market's not open, so you can't use it anymore. Then your 7-day free trial is like, okay, I need to remember, like I didn't get a chance to really onboard. There's Mr. Zink. Where is he? Should we add Zink? I'm going to add you. There he is. Perfect.
Oh, it is a party now.
Now it is a party. I'm going to finish this crazy rant that I'm on. But so now it's the weekend. The market's not open. You didn't get a proper onboarding. You're like, oh, I didn't really get a proper onboarding. I'm going to like not do my trial. I'm just going to cancel my trial. And then you didn't give it a chance. But if you don't have a trial, you pay $49, which is really honestly like the cost of lunch, or in like today's day and age, like a couple of coffees. And so you commit to 1 month, you commit to it financially, you commit to it. And then now you have 1 month, which is 20 different trading days to go and actually be able to build a system around edgeful. And that's the logic of why we removed the free trial, because I'm not expecting everyone to be like, okay, I'm going to block my calendar for the next 3 days so I can like really dive deep into this product. And obviously it's our responsibility to make the product as easy as possible to onboard to. At the end of the day, I don't know if you have 150 different reports, there's only so much that we can do to guide you in the right direction. We preload all the most popular reports into your bookmarks already, all the most popular tickers. We have all the onboarding things. Some people like to do it, some people don't. But I think nobody should ever do a free trial. No software company should do it. I don't think people with courses should do it. I don't think people with Discord should do it. No free trials ever, because you only get people that are like, well, also if you add this one thing that I really want, then I'll pay for it. I'm like, you know how much effort it takes to add just this one thing? But that's my rant. Welcome, Mr. Zink. I hope
How many
you guys
rants are we going to get today?
I don't know. That was like one of the. There's Jim said, "I love the Andre rant," but yeah, that was my rant because we are actually removing the trial in a couple of days, so it's good. Okay, Zink, what are you looking at here? Are you still waiting for the IB?
I don't know. Someone in here is bad luck.
Me?
Might not be you. We just had like a 500-point move overnight on gold and probably another 300 on Qs, and we are smack dab in the middle of previous day's range right now.
Yeah.
So I have on QQQ, I have previous day's high, previous day's low chart for regular trading hours.
You want to pull up your screen?
Yeah.
God, we got a party here today. I love it.
Let me get rid of that.
Zing says to me for the pre-market, he says I'm his favorite South African to watch trade. I'm like, I'm probably your only South African you watch trade.
Yeah.
Let me pull my window up here. There you go. Not
Yeah,
sure.
I'm
if
gonna
I
go
took
get
over or
another
not.
coffee while you explain this. I'll be right back.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me there you go. Yep, on my stream. All right, so I have the main stat that I'm looking at is that inside bar break. We have a 79.73% chance of that, and that's why I was mentioning pre-market with you, James.
Yeah.
But the only issue is that we haven't had any movement, and if the IB comes in this low, I mean, we could say Trump comes out at like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and announces Kevin Warsh as that new Fed president. That could influence the move that we have. For the most part, though, the implied move is a move up to previous day's high or down to previous day's low. But if the IB by size comes in too low or the IB by levels and we don't have enough of an implied break, once this pulls up here,
Look what someone's in the chat. Edgeful is a bit too good. I'm better than my friend that's been trading for years. I saw it 6 months ago. Remove it now.
Edgeful is too good. Helped me significantly. But yeah, I mean, if we can't take, this was the report for yesterday and Thursday, which we had no chance of going any further than where we were for today. And we'll go to, what's the size that we're looking at right now? 0.5%. Let's save that. Once this loads. So this one also doesn't have any data points for us breaking further.
Yeah.
For Friday.
You're mainly
anyway.
trading NQ, right, Zink? Yeah, that's only what.
Yeah, I charted it on Qs, and a great example from yesterday, because of especially when there's velocity with it too. You have a lot of firms that mainly on Trade of 8. Sometimes they have velocity logic on there, but if we pull up, Andre asks me this all the time. Pull up a comparison of QQQ and MNQ. It's a little tricky to see sometimes, but
It's actually crazy, to be honest, the difference sometimes.
yeah, it happens. Yesterday we had like a 12-point variance on it because of how fast we were moving. But this wick that we formed on MNQ on Qs didn't really happen. Qs was like 20 cents lower than the wick that we got. So I ended up getting lucky with the entry on MNQ. But the slippage is just ridiculous. I don't know where it comes from in some instances, but for the most part, especially on SPY, it happens a lot on SPY, I've noticed. I think it was on the stream on Monday, Andre, that I pointed out that SPY hadn't taken previous day's high or low. And it almost got to previous day's low, but I was still targeting up to previous day's high. I don't remember what stream it was, either Friday or Monday.
One of the things that like just instinctually what kind of stands out of like what might be the reason is that if you're looking at MNQ to trade the same volume or to like 10 micros is 1 mini. So how many more contracts do you think get traded on the micros? And does that push price more in a certain direction? Whereas like you don't need to trade as many contracts, so there's not that many trades, there's not as much execution. on NQ, whereas yes, like the actual dollar amount, like the notional value of the trade is higher, but because there are so many more contracts, it can kind of like cascade a little bit more. I don't know, honestly.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing that kind of stands out to me of like, could that be a reason?
But yeah, that's the main reason I use QQQ as opposed to MNQ. And sometimes it pops up on, like this is for a Tuesday, it's at 90 and 75. It's accurate in most occurrences. Let's see if MNQ has an issue right now. Once it loads here.
We're working on the load speed. I'm aware. So everyone watching, I said this in the Discord stream the other day. As frustrated as you are with the load speed, I am 10 times more frustrated than you. Just so everyone knows, because I'm aware that it's slow, and I am 10 times more annoyed than you guys are. I can promise you that.
There we go.
I believe that.
So this one's in line, but usually SPY and MES, those ones are off by like 5%, 4%. And it's on the 6-month time frame. I'm sure if I went to a larger time frame, it wouldn't be as bad.
We are getting the most trash price action right now.
Yeah, I know. I was pretty hopeful we were going to get a nice break to the higher low.
So Zink, I don't know when you started watching the stream, like when you joined it, or not when you joined it, when you started watching it, but I was thinking about inside bars, a new sub report, but that checks the size of the previous day. Okay. So like yesterday was obviously huge. Like, I don't think it's,
so our chance of breaking that range.
Yeah, exactly. So like, should we be able to compare? I mean, we should be able to, obviously. But.
We had one of the right here, this Friday, January 2nd to Monday, same thing. But yeah, that would be a great report to add. This one was, I think, $15, $13. And we still made like a 2% move up.
Yeah, it's just right now looking at this higher time frame, it's like not great.
One report that I think would be cool to add is when we had 2 of them this week. Let's see if I can find one. Here.
Please.
So these gaps between, it's mainly the overnight session gap. So 8 p.m. into the following 4 a.m. open. When we have a gap there, what the likelihood of those filling is. Maybe not for the day, but I've noticed these fill about, and this is just from my own collection, so it may not be super accurate, but about 92% of the time.
And that's for equities, right? Like for Qs?
Yep. And I call it the previous day in London gap because it's the extended session close on New York into following London Open.
Yeah, open. So the stock data that we have. So if you look at obviously stocks don't have sessions, so we look at only the RTH.
Okay.
So the gap fill report is not considering the extended trading hours price action. It's only looking at RTH, just so you know.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it's not looking at those. It's only looking from 4 p.m. to 9:30 to 4 p.m. to 9:30.
Gotcha. Well, anyway, if anyone wants to use that, these gaps fill a lot. They fill very frequently.
Yeah. We'll definitely look into building that report out. And I see another comment here. Let's see people who complain, show you a better, faster, cheaper company. It doesn't exist, actually. But yeah, still really not great price action. If you guys are green on the week, I would probably advise just probably don't take a trade today based on what's happening now. Now, if volume picks up and we get some decent momentum in a certain direction, that would be great. I'm actually going to check for.
It's Friday as well. You don't want to go into the weekend doing something on a Friday, do you? And mess it all up, all your progress from the week.
What am I doing here? I'm looking at the economic calendar. Yeah, 9:45 is PMI, but that's it. There's nothing. There's nothing here.
The only thing I could anticipate this delay would be for that new Fed president.
When is that being announced?
I don't know. I'm assuming it's probably going to be around 2.
Oh, is that? I thought it was the guy Kevin though.
Yeah, it is Kevin Warsh.
But it's just being officially announced.
Yeah. and he'll have his opening remarks today, but I don't know what time it's going to be.
Wow. So when does he come in? Like, when do they swap out Powell?
May. I think it's May.
Yeah.
Wow. Imagine Powell leaves with a bang and just raises rates.
One full point.
I mean, we're in the cycle now. We're like, rates are coming down. There's no question about it. And
Yep.
when rates come down, I actually, here's something I haven't spoken about in a long time. I'm going to show you guys something interesting.
You can take the screen back.
I'll pull it up in just a second.
Yeah, Andre does it often. He'll be talking and his screen's like, oh shit, my screen's not up.
Yeah, I do that actually all the time.
We might get a new IB high to take, but I'm probably not super inclined to take anything today.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Go ahead,
Proper
Dan.
choppy at the moment on NQ. I was just saying, yeah, it's just proper choppy on NQ at the moment. Like, it is literally backwards and forwards here.
Zink and Dan and Andre, do you guys think that a lot of times people just the fact that they can't actually sit on their hands, they get messed up on days like where there's low volume or it's pretty sideways?
Exactly. Yeah, this exact thing happened last time Andre and I were on stream together.
Yeah.
No trades, right? I didn't.
Yeah.
Nope, no trades. But what people do is they get into, so great example for today, they'll take a $200 loss, $100 loss right at open, and they'll try to recover that with a directional bias. So they're either bullish or bearish. And then with the chop, you lose $100 10 times over. And then your last trade, you probably put no stop loss in.
Yeah, it's and there's your $49 account, and then you reset it, and then the cycle starts.
Yep.
I think the problem is, though, is that most people don't actually know what a no trade day actually looks like for them. Like, what does it actually look like? What is price action doing, which makes you think, oh, it's a no trade day for me? What are the rules that are saying, oh, it's a no trade day for me? I think a lot of people don't have that. I think you need to have that clearly in place, don't you? You need to know exactly what it's going to look like.
That's such an interesting. It's such an interesting concept. Like, how do you quantify that?
I'll tell you something for mine. Like where we're sitting on ES and NQ right now, we're trading as an inside day. I don't particularly have great days when we trade as an inside day, personally.
But you're talking about when we open within yesterday's range, or
no, just like when we just haven't broken it at all. Like we haven't taken one side at all yet. I understand you could trade towards like maybe the high today, but like I don't do well for me on those days, at least.
I mean, I don't know how many people here, I mean, I know that this is definitely futures oriented, but I don't know how many people here trade options, specifically sell options, but a day like this is like an option seller's dream. If you get this barcode nonsense price action, you sell the strikes, whatever. Let's just say you have a bullish bias, the IB low forms first, there's a green opening candle. It's still very choppy, but you get, like, you have these bullish bias like underlying your trade. You just don't really have the momentum to capture a nice move. You can sell put spreads like below previous day's low or whatever, like a certain amount away from where price is currently. And you can just let price chop with a bullish bias and just collect the premium. I talk about options a lot, but for anyone who's new to trading, I would definitely recommend, if you're deciding between starting trading options directionally, like if you're buying calls or puts versus futures trading, I would say absolutely, without question, go to futures instead of options, because there are so many less variables as it relates to your P&L, as it relates to volume on the strikes and everything. There's a million different things. So I would recommend starting with futures. And then once you understand how those work, it's easier to go to options after. But yeah, so.
I find options proper intimidating because of the terms and the phrases in it and stuff. Like, I know so little about options, but it's like the phrase that are using it, I don't get it.
Yeah.
What's your strike price?
A lot of people get messed up from the theta too.
Yeah.
You know what the funny thing is? I had to actually learn about options in my BCom, bro. You had to. Like, it was
Good.
compulsory. Yeah.
I think it's great. I mean, there was a lot to learn, and there's a lot to learn, but there are a lot of variables to consider.
Sure.
And I think that people just see other people post on Twitter like SPX, 0DT, 1000% gain. And it's just like, that's what they get attracted to. But for every time that happens, there's like literally 25 days of going to zero. But yeah.
It's almost impossible to hold a play to 1000%.
I actually don't understand. I mean, it has to be runners, but yeah, I agree. Like, also to expect a move to be 1000% is just like so ridiculous. Like when you're at 500, you're like, it's going to go another 500%. Like, that's tough. For me, that's tough. I can't do that. I know that there are people that do that, but I can't. I'm not able to do that.
I've had one, I think it ended up being like 4,000%. But it was because I put $5 into the contract and it ended up going to like 180. And it
So you
was
don't really care if
on.
it goes from like 100 to back to 80.
Yeah,
back to
no,
120.
absolutely not.
Yeah.
It was a pre-earnings run up when Google was trading at like, it was in this trend back here. I have the day marked. This is when Google was trading, I think it was 3,000 a share, I want to say.
Yeah.
And I bought the contract for $5 and it had IV pump on it, everything. It was just a magical occurrence.
Yeah.
And I had like $200 that ended up turning into 10,000.
Yeah.
That's
But
crazy.
I will say I would never in a million years let a play like that run as far as I did. That was only because I was in the early phase of trading options.
Just something I'm noticing on the Mag 7 here, we are starting to flip green. We're green on every single one now except Meta. So
yeah, we haven't quite taken a new IB high yet with Qs, but we could front run SPY here.
I'll show you guys what I was going to mention before. Zinc, I'll pull your screen back up after this. It'll be quick.
No worries.
This blue line is the Fed funds rate. The chart that I'm looking at is SPX. I'm on a weekly chart. I'm at the year 2000. Obviously, dot-com bubble, but stock market at all-time high. The Fed funds rate was at recent highs. They cut rates, stock market falls. Then fast forward to 2008. Now we're here. Stock market at highs. Fed funds rate starts to cut. Now price falls. Now going to COVID, I think that there was a little bit of a different situation here because there was like obviously a difference because it's not the same as what it was before. However, if we look now, and what you'll see is stock market all-time highs, rates at recent highs, you start to cut. I'm not saying that it's going to fall again, but if you look at the two most recent instances of the Fed rate hike and cut cycle, it's not super promising, but interesting to highlight. Let's see, Greg is talking about Tesla and NVDA. What is he talking about here? NVIDIA 193, interesting.
yeah, screen now on the day.
Pushing. Let me pull up, what's Tesla doing? Tesla 430.
Yeah, they're up.
Tesla's up 3% right now.
Yeah.
Off of a rumor that Elon may merge SpaceX and Tesla.
I thought he's merging SpaceX and XAI, like confirmed.
I have no idea. I just saw that's the reason they had that 4% pop last night at 6:15, 5:15.
Greg is just trying to shill his positions right now. He's trying to like pump them up. Zinc, I'll pull your screen back up.
Yeah, we could get Could get an IB high taken.
Your screen's
on,
up, by the way, Zink. Just so
Alright.
you know. Yeah.
Could get an IB high taken on ES. Sad part is that Q's isn't there yet. I will say that Fridays and Thursdays have been a little rough for the IB, but the Thursdays are by far the worst. Fridays usually aren't that bad. I think last Friday it did lose on the IB as well. Yeah, it's down to 66%. So I guess the high form first could be overdue a loss. It is 6% over what the average is.
So interesting how you look at that.
Typically like this to, yeah, and the great example of this is I probably won't take it on Tuesday. Tuesday's been on like 6 weeks of wins in a row.
Do you scroll down to the table and look at the table?
I do, yeah. I always look at this. So the low formed high break, low formed high break.
Yep.
Low high, low high, low high, low high. So it's at 6 weeks of winning in a row on a Tuesday.
I have a question about how you have your edgeful open right now. Do you always have that left sidebar expanded?
I do, yeah, because I have people usually ask me to look at different reports.
Well, no, so right above where it says cut, that
arrows.
Do you always leave that open?
I do to swap to the screener.
You can still swap to it with it closed.
Oh.
So if you close it and you click, you can still you can go wherever you want with it closed. I'm only saying it because I notice your screen is like very compacted, and I don't know if you care if it is, but God, that load speed is unbelievable. I just like can't believe it. Like it's just
could be my Wi-Fi too.
No, I don't know. Probably, hopefully it is, but your stream is coming through pretty clear right now. So
yeah. Anyway, I get used to doing this.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, I was just curious. It doesn't matter to me, but.
Tuesday, I would expect Tuesday this coming week or the week after be overdue a loss. So that would avoid, and that's how I've somewhat increased it. I think I've gotten the IB up to maybe 80% for the win rate. And that's just off of avoiding trades like this where it's too high. Because I did go on, when I first started using it back in June or July last year, I'd see like 3 weekdays where it said 90% plus. I'd go and take the trade and it would immediately break to the opposing direction.
Yeah. And by the way, that's why we don't tell people how to use it, right? Like everyone has a different way of using it. For example, like if I see that a certain weekday has the IB is actually more likely to double break, I just won't trade it at all. And I will trade the days that have higher single break percentages. Whereas like Zink is kind of like looking forward into like the curve of how the stats change over time.
And I love switching between, I know 6 months is the opportune one, but I love switching between this and 1 year, 3 years, because that also shows what the reversion down to the mean should be.
Yeah.
So this one's 86% for a year. And then for like 3 years, I think it's like 82%. So Tuesday would definitely be due a loss, but for right now, no trade on this for me today because we got to call BS on either SPY or Qs. Which one of these is going to break the opposing direction? 3 years is 84%.
We got the IB in
6 minutes.
Yeah.
6 minutes. Yeah. It's so choppy though.
That was terrible.
Like the IB as it is at the moment, like this is where like the IB by rejection, which I love, there's no edge in this when it's like this. And it's so choppy like this. But Zink, I was going to ask you a question.
Go for it.
You said before, like if the start of the report is like super, super high, does that mean then if it's like too high, too good, you actually won't trade it then?
I won't trade it, or what I've done before, let's see if I can find a Tuesday. I guess this was a decent example. So I will take the IB. Oh, it's already marked on there. I will wait for price to get like 20 cents away from the IB high, and I'll take a short and leave the stop loss at IB high. So my stop is like 30 points, and it's not necessarily that I want to take a loss on it and want to invert the data, but either I don't take it or I try like a home run and either go for a 20 risk reward on the trade, or I take like a $20, $30 loss. But for the most part, I do avoid taking it when it's this high. Tuesdays, I guess, might be a bad example because they are historically good for the low form first. But like if a Thursday comes in and you see, I'll pull up the data for Thursdays because of how bad they are. If a Thursday comes in,
Look at that load speed. Look how quickly that loaded.
Thursdays, this one is usually like 71, 72%. So if this climbs up to 90, let's say 6 weeks from now, this is all the way at 85, 90%, then I probably just won't take it. But Tuesdays,
so
definitely. And I love going down and using this table right here and just seeing what the win streak is on it.
We're also going to add the weekdays to those tables, just so you know.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think it'll make your life a lot easier.
Awesome. Yeah, I go off the dates right here, so it's not.
And just so you know, if you click on the little triangle on the top, like in the column header.
Yep, and filter it.
Yeah, you just so you know. The other ones you can also filter for like high formed or whatever. And then you can also drag the columns too if you want. I don't know if you do.
Widen them.
But yeah, you can widen them. You can also swap them, like swap the order if you just like grab the actual like word and just move it around. You obviously don't have to, but you can. But
I will say that with using not inverting the data, but not taking trades when the IB is this high has probably saved me like 3 or 4 losses.
Wow.
So
it's so interesting that that's like that's the way that you frame it. Like that's very interesting.
A little reversion to mean takes me back to stats in college.
Yeah. Yeah, this price action is like horrifically bad. Tesla's ripping. NVIDIA is.
Well, we haven't even had a break outside the orb on the 5-minute yet, Andrew. My algo hasn't even gone off, and it's been an hour into the open.
Oh, that's right.
When I know that happens, I know the price action's not great at all.
Yeah.
R2, the target for the IB is the low on Qs, but it's the high on SPY. So one of these is either going to lose or the other one's going to invert the data.
It looks like the downside is going to be the one to go for it. The only thing that's ripping right now is Tesla. Apple's falling, Nvidia's falling, Meta's almost new low of day, Broadcom new low of day, Google's at the highs but seeming to be pulling back. Literally the only thing that's really pumping is Tesla.
Let's see if we can get an example of this on a Friday for SPY. See if we can see SPY's overdue a loss. I mean, it has a minute that it could go take the low, so it's not off the table yet. Yeah, there you go. So exactly what I was just talking about. The average on SPY, if we go to any given weekday, so I'll add all of them in. Perfect. I never get a good example like that. The average is 71%. And just for Friday, for the IB low forming first, which is still intact. I mean, it might go and take a new one, but this is sitting at 84. So it's 13% over what the average is.
Yeah.
Which I would read as it's overdue a loss. So maybe don't take it for that one.
Yeah.
Or even if you wanted to take shorts on Qs because you think that these are going to line up to the downside, you could use this as somewhat of an add confluence. And then vice versa for a high getting to form first. This one's at 92, which I would say is definitely overdue a loss for a Friday coming up.
Is there anything you'd want us to, like any other customizations you'd want to add to the report? I know that the weekday selector is kind of a pain, but price broke out of the...
NQ just went off. Algo short.
Yeah, my algo went off too.
So QQQ validated and SPY should have... This will update probably within the next 10 minutes, I'd assume.
The historical data updates at night. The live data updates obviously live.
Okay.
So that data will change tomorrow.
Okay.
Like
so when this updates,
like midnight something.
This should come down to like 81 to 80%.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's too much. I think if you added too much to it, it could make it easier with the weekdays. I think that's about the only pain in getting these data reports. But I love how you can just scroll down. You see the table here. You can see what the win streak is if you go to just the low, high, high, low.
Yeah.
I think if you added too much, it might get a little jumbled and
Yeah.
kind of like a word soup in here.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's perfect example for your question, Dan, about how I'd use not trading the IB when the stats super high like that. Like next Friday, if we form the high first on SPY, I more than likely will not take the low break.
Yeah.
It's just such an interesting way to look at it, because most people who go on edgeful and they'll see a report that says 92%, they'll be like, yeah, I'm going to take that all day long, you know, everything on it.
That's, I mean, 90, it kind of depends for me, at least when I see something like that. Like if something isn't, let's just say the IB, for example, IB by weekday, if something is in the 80s, like I will hammer that, but I will compare it to the other weekdays too. Like because something is working really well, like I don't want to try to, and this is just like the way that I interpret it, is I don't want to try to like mark the end of the, like if it's consecutive streaks, that's a different story. But like, I don't want to mark the end of being like, okay, it's gone from 78 to 85 and I don't think it's going to go any higher. So now I'm not going to take the trade. And like, if it continues to happen, like, I don't want to miss out on those trades. Like when I start to take the losses, that's when, or like if I start to like be more selective with the setup, then that's where I'll kind of like weigh into it.
Yeah. My threshold for it's 13% over what the average is.
Interesting.
And then I just won't take the trade.
Why 13?
That's just what I did some back testing on anytime the weekday is over what the average is. So the average for any given day on these two is usually like 72%. So if it gets over 85, which SPY was pretty close today, if it gets over 85, I just don't look to take it. And it's not like I want to second guess the data. I guess that's adding a personal emotion in, but it does save me in some events, especially when the IB is like a 130 point range, and that's a $260 loss that I could have avoided. And I try not to be too greedy in terms of if I miss a play. It does suck missing a play, but you only lose one trading day. That's it.
Yeah.
It's like you're negative R trader.
No, I usually do 1-to-1. I did have.
Okay.
I usually always slap 1-to-1 on it. Yesterday it might have been a little bit lower or a little bit higher. I think I got 1 to 1.8 yesterday, but 1-to-1 is usually what my minimum is.
I have a question. I'm going to hijack your screen again.
Go for it.
One more time. Where is the screen? What do you guys think about Robinhood?
For long-term bar.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
I think I wish Weeble was in the same spot. Because that's the stock they own. Bull.
This is the one you bought instead?
I did, yeah. But yeah, I think both of them are. I think Hood's going to be, with how simplistic it is and how many people have access to it, I think it all comes back to what you said, is that people want things done for them.
Yeah.
So like if very similar to how Acorns works, where you don't have to do anything and it just automatically invests pennies each time you buy something.
Yeah.
Hood's UI is what keeps people there, because it takes away the scary part of investing. I think that's why a lot of people liked like Project X over Trade as well.
Yeah.
Simplicity.
Yeah, used interface, yeah, for sure.
The thing about Weeble is you go on Twitter and everybody posts screenshots of Robinhood. I don't see anyone posting screenshots of Weeble. Now, maybe I just don't see it or whatever else, but like I see so many Robinhood screenshots. that I'm like, everyone, at least that's like actively on Twitter, which is like whatever, obviously not that many, like in relative terms, like not that many people. Like it's not like people with an iPhone, obviously, but to me, I don't see anyone using it. Like I don't see people using it. So like I've heard it's a great platform, Webull, but I don't know anyone who uses it, to be honest. Like, do you guys use it? I mean, James, I don't think you can.
Yeah, I use it.
I mean, Jane, I don't know if you can use it.
In South Africa. Yeah.
No, I can't use either.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think they're a nice middle ground for the UI and kind of a little advancement, but I do know quite a few people that use it. Most of the guys that have like somewhat larger portfolios, I do see use it.
Yeah.
And then there's obviously the same thing for Hood, but
wow, this is trash.
God,
it's going to be a double break day to boot.
Yeah, this is not great.
SPY
I'll pull
was
your
just
screen back up, Zink.
30 cents away from having a double break. So definitely not going to be getting that inside bar stat today. We do have a where's my IBY levels here? We do have a 0.5% range on Qs. I think it's 0.5%. Let's see. Yeah, 0.57. So it is in that 0.4 to 0.59 bracket. And we're on a Friday. And we have no data for this continuing to half a standard deviation. We had one day that formed the same range on a Friday.
Yeah.
And this is over 6 months of trading
Yeah, I
as
was
well.
about
So
to ask. You're around 6 months.
probably, I mean, if I go to 2 years, it shouldn't be much different. But I would just view this as probably very similar to what happened last Friday in terms of an exhausted move for the week and then kind of just pittered out. This one did at least have a directional move into open.
Yeah.
But we've only had, over the past 2 years, we've only had 4 that have proceeded past the IB break.
I'm curious how you got, like, we've been saying pretty much since, I would say like 9:35 that it's been, or whatever, since like the very close to the open that today has been choppy and it's like not something that we're like, oh, we're not really seeing like a good setup here.
Mm-hmm.
How do we quantify that? Like, how do we say like this is a day, like it's, to me, it's very obvious. And we've been saying it literally for like the last hour. You should not be trading today. Like discretionarily, this is like terrible price action. Like, how do you quantify that to the point where we can say this day is setting up, like this is meeting the criteria of every single day that has had a smaller range or choppy price action or whatever else, where we can like create a form of like some sort of checklist that we can like integrate into the what's in play somehow to be like, today is likely to be a choppy day because of XYZ factors.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are there things you guys look for outside of like small candles or whatever else?
I think it's just a feel.
I know that's the hard part. I
think
agree with
it's
you.
an experience thing. I don't know if it's something that you could quantify. Like an inexperienced trader would come and look at this and look at, okay, this is a $2 candle. I could have just made $400 on 2 micros right there if I caught the entire candle. I think that's how an inexperienced trader looks at this, as opposed to seeing that this is quite literally as barcodey as it gets, and you're not going to be able to. It's just a feel thing. I don't know if you can quantify it.
Well, it's pattern. I mean, it's like we have seen it enough times to where like we're recognizing a pattern.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever that pattern is that like we can't explicitly explain is what's resulting in this trash here. But like we need to be able to, like there is something that we all recognized where we've universally, like uniform, we've said this is trash price action. We're not going to take any trades today, most likely, unless something happens.
Yep.
What was those things that we subconsciously saw on the charts where we so far have been spot on?
I think it could come. Keith just had a great point. % time in IB, but instead of the IB, maybe the orb, because that launches it earlier in the day.
Bonus points.
James had mentioned that it's been an hour in the 5-minute orb before you guys had your algo hit. So
see, for me, can I just take over the screen for a second?
Yeah, go for it.
If I just, how do I?
I'll do it for you.
I know.
No.
Here, I got it. There it is.
Perfect. Okay. So for me, it's kind of like looking at this right now from an IB by rejection point of view, like it's just chop city. From the very, very start of the session, we're just chopping backwards and forwards all the time. But if we're looking at, say, yesterday's IB, you know, for me, this is just a lot clearer, the direction. The IB high forming pretty quickly, IB low forming here. There's quite a gap here. Clearly, sellers fully in control there. So I'm a lot more clear on my direction there. While here, I have no idea whatsoever where to go. I feel that's just a flip of a coin. Do you know what I mean? Compared to
but
here,
why?
for
Like
example.
why though? Like how do you quantify that?
Yeah, I don't know. Like Singh said, I don't know how you, because you can't say it's the IB size, because the IB size today is 0.5%.
Look at that new indicator update, by the way. Instantly, you see the IB size.
Yeah, I tell you, funny story on that. By the way, I watched your stream. I think was it last Friday, and you were showing that indicator of the dashboard for the orb, and I was thinking to myself, right, I need to make sure I ask for that dashboard for the IB, because I thought I need that dashboard for the IB, and I made a note of it, and then I just thought, well, hold on a second, and then I went on my chart, checked the IB indicator, and it had that update logo. Click that, boom, dashboard there. So you literally read my mind with that immediately. But I love that dashboard for the because I mean I've only got those 4 ones on there because I'm often front running the IB anyway. So knowing when it's formed, not formed, I don't really need that on.
Yeah,
but the distance from the
That's
high,
why we
distance
allow
from
you
the low.
to change all of it. Because some people
for
only
sure.
care about the points. They only care about like which one formed first. But I'm just reading through some of these comments here. View up crosses. Just look at the breakouts. You can mark IB range. Has above below average size. The breakout stats to fill. The thing is, like, a lot of the suggestions here, the percentage of candles in the orb as it relates to the IB is like, because I think the IB really sets the day more than the orb. Like the orb could be small, the orb could be big, but then like the day could still continue. It's only 15 minutes, or at least the standard orb is still only 15 minutes, but having the, sorry, I was just making sure this is correct. It is correct. Just like an objective way to quantify, okay, this day, like obviously volume is one of them. Like if volume is 40% of what the average is, like that goes without question. Like for the most part, you're going to have a choppier range, which is whatever, right? That's simple. But outside of that, like I'm assuming the volume today it seemed like relatively normal in terms of pre-market, like the pre-market action. Like there was definitely a lot going on. There was like a pretty large move overnight, which generally constitutes larger volume. But then we're sitting in this range. Well, let me pull up my screen, and I always do, James, I'm always doing this.
Yeah.
Well, I have my screen up like 90% of the time, so that's why I'm.
Yeah. What I see just from today, and as Zing said, it's kind of from experience, but I love using VWAP in the orb, right? Obviously with the edgeful reports, but look how many times we've been back and forth above and below VWAP today, like literally like 6 times. So if you put the New York session open VWAP on, we've literally been above and below it, just back and forth.
Oh, dude, you mean with that sick new indicator update that we released? That it's
exactly like it's. I'm watching it go green, go red, go green, go red, and I'm like, well, clearly on a day like that, I don't. From a discretional trading perspective, I don't really want to be, in that.
I think it's just as simple.
It's when it's horizontal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Just as simple as looking at the opening candle size as well. So
the opening candle continuation, or
No, just the size of the first either 5 or 15-minute candle, and like looking at Tuesday last week, Wednesday last
Here,
week.
I'm pulling up your screen 1 sec.
All right. Like looking at the size, this is on the 15-minute time frame, and you can see the size of the candle. We did have good movement for the IB, but the size of the candle, this was a 9-cent opening 15-minute candle. Price yielded pretty much nothing for the day. Same thing for Wednesday, January 28th. $1.50 opening candle, pretty choppy for the day. Nice strong directional candle to open, strong directional movement for the day.
Dude,
Today, not really anything.
Let me pull something up that I haven't pulled up in I don't even know how long. The opening range indicator report does exactly that. Measures the size of the first 15-minute candle and compares it to the range of the rest of the day.
Huh.
It's called the opening range indicator candle. It shows all of the 15-minute opening ranges. You can customize it to be 5-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute. And then it shows you the range for the rest of the day. So
what's the name of that?
Opening range indicator.
Bookmark that.
So it shows you the correlation between so this is the average, right? So this is the average opening range. This is the average range for the rest of the day. So pretty much, if today has an opening range that is much greater than average, what is the correlation to the rest of the day being a greater than average range? That's the way that it works. And what you can see is that the correlation is actually not that strong. Right over here, it's only 0.36. The maximum it could be is 1, which is virtually impossible. And the reason that it can't be 1 is, there you go, Anne-Marie. Opening range candles are my absolute favorite candles to track my day. Let's go. Yeah. So the correlation, the maximum that it could possibly be when you correlate any two things, the perfect correlation is 1. The reason that's impossible in the financial markets is because what that would mean is if the opening range today is 12.375% higher than the average, then the rest of the day's range will be exactly 12.375% higher than the average. Obviously, that's impossible. So there is like a realistic bound that this will kind of stop at. I haven't looked at this report, honestly, in so long that I don't know what that bound is. But right now, the relationship between the 15-minute orb and the relationship to the rest of the day in terms of being higher or lower than average is moderate.
I really like that.
Dude, look at us discovering old reports.
Just had a double break on SPY, by the way.
Okay, Zink, I'll pull your screen back up.
I
knew we had something for it.
Has any of you guys or anyone in the stream seen the TV show White Collar?
Yes, of course. I love that show.
So I don't know if you remember a scene, and this is fact checked as well within the show, but regarding chicken sexers.
I don't know what that is.
So it ties into that, I promise. It's when he's looking at some art piece and everything is pointing toward it being authentic. And he gets asked, how do you know it's fake?
Oh.
He brings up this example. Japanese chicken sexers. And if you know anything about chickens, you know that they can't really be sexed at birth. If anyone's ever been to Tractor Supply within the US, or if you've ever bought chicks, you have like a 20 to 30% chance of getting a female as opposed to a male. So it's still a profession, but it's just intuition. And they somehow, with a mentor behind them, telling them if they're right or wrong over the course of 2 years, they work up to a 98% accuracy. And being
just by looking at them?
Yeah, they pick up, they have a conveyor belt of chickens go through, they pick up one, and they put it into a male or female box, and then they have another one come through. And they start off with 50-50 like you would expect, but over the course of 2 years, after having a mentor right behind them, saying if they're right or wrong, they get up to a 98% accuracy.
Wow.
It's just intuition off of being able to select which one you think is right or wrong.
That is insane. I need to know, how did that come to your mind when we were just explaining this?
It's so random.
Because it's not something you can quantify. It's just you see the chart like today. All of us
Yeah.
did the same thing. You have experienced traders that come in. I've seen something like this 1,000 times over. I've looked at the same chart for the past 3 years, 1,000 data points. I know, okay, a day like this, based off London's pre-market moves or whatever we get into open, I know it's probably going to be a barcode day like this.
Yeah.
No quantifiable measure to it. And we just walk through maybe what could be quantified in that measure, but we have no idea. It could just be intuition. It could be us knowing subconsciously that there's some kind of stat in the chart that we can't vocalize. We don't know what it is. So it's just, I bring that example up. I talk about it quite often, just because I think it's a really cool. It's a quote from a TV show that you're like, no.
Have you read this book, by the way? Blink by Malcolm Gladwell.
I have not.
This is exactly what you're talking about. It's all about like intuition. And there was this very similar to what you were saying. I think that there was in the book, there was some story about a statue or some like art piece that everyone was saying was real, and everyone was saying it was fake, and it was real, or everyone was saying it was real and it was actually fake. And they had this one guy, this like super expert guy, come in and he was like, "Nah, it's fake," like right off the bat, or he was like, "No, it's real." And they were like, "How do you know?" And he's like, I don't know, but I know that it's not. I know that there's something off, but I can't put my finger on it." That's what this entire book is about, like the power of thinking without thinking. I think it's a great book. I haven't read it in a really long time, but it's literally exactly what you're saying, that like intuition, and it applies to athletes too, is just like your intuition is just carrying you a lot. Like that's where the reps come in.
Crazy how powerful your subconscious is.
Yeah. Hopefully AI won't take it over. It probably will, honestly.
Yeah, sadly. Did we just have a double break on Qs as well?
Not on NQ, but
missed it by 5 cents.
Yeah.
The double break.
Yeah, today's another example. NQ breaks the QQ, or what did I just say? No. What is it? No, none of them broke.
We have a Trump 2 p.m. meeting headline. So that could be what we're waiting for today. Yeah. And then at 2 o'clock.
Shout out to Anne Marie, by the way, in the comments here. It's great to have you in the comments. Thanks for joining. But what was the Trump announcement?
2 p.m.
Okay. New Fed chair confirmed today.
Yeah, it could be that. It could be just him having some kind of other conference. Who knows? But I mean, nothing. This is the same port blowing day we saw last Thursday, I believe.
Yeah.
Or 2 Thursdays ago.
Yeah. I'm going to figure out how to quantify this, because now in my head, I'm like, I'm going to quantify it. Like, how do we identify choppy day? Like, what are the criteria that match on all choppy days? And how do you, well, first of all, you need to quantify what a choppy day is, and then go backwards from there, and then look at different criteria that all match when whatever your definition of a choppy day is met. It's quantifiable. I know for a fact. It has to be. Because we're all doing it. We all did it.
Chicken sexers, man.
I mean, that's a different story, but
So intuition in the market. Imagine you can quantify it and then get to a level where you can make a screener that says your percent chance of losing today based off what you would usually trade.
Dude, is that the next feature that we're gonna build?
That would be something.
That'd be pretty good, huh? Look at that load speed, by the way. I just clicked that right there and it just loaded so fast. I'm going to look into it. I'm actually going to make a task for myself to look into it, to quantify choppy days somehow.
I did like what Keith said regarding the percent time spent within a range.
So you're basically to do that, you're gonna combine multiple reports?
I need to figure out a definition first of what is a choppy day. After I have the definition of what is a choppy day, then I look at the criteria. Like, I'll walk everyone through like how I'm going to think about doing this. First of all, I want to know what is a choppy day. You have to start there because then you have the set of days that meet this criteria, and now you can bucket choppy and not choppy days. Maybe you can do like a medium choppy, super choppy, and then not. Like yesterday was not a choppy day at all, obviously. Today is obviously a very choppy day. And it's not just going to be range bound, because you can have clean moves with a small range. But in this case, range is going to be part of it for sure.
Yep.
It might have to be something relating to the current range relative to what ATR is or ADR is within a certain period of the day that would like therefore determine the rest of the day, like very unlikely to be a continuation day or a less choppy day. But defining what are the choppy days first is the most important. And then going through and trying to check what is the common denominator across all the days. Okay, all of these days, the 15-minute orb was less than 50% of the ATR or 50% of the average orb size or whatever it is. And then going through and saying, okay, the opening volume was lower, the opening range was lower, the overnight session was actually very big, the previous day's range was actually huge, like whatever, call it 200% of ATR. And then when these criteria set up, call it previous day's range being twice whatever ATR is, the overnight range being twice whatever the overnight range typically is, volume is lower at the open, the range is lower. Now we can quantify, okay, every time that this has happened, 80% of the time, there's been a choppy day, right? I mean, like there has to be a way to define it. There's no way that there's not a way to define it. It's just about finding the different variables that you would need in order to recreate what we're looking at right now.
Mm-hmm. I want to add in on that note, there will be, as I get this question all the time regarding the IB and why it may not work some days.
Yeah.
This was very clearly, in hindsight, this was about as choppy of a day as it can get. This is an hour and a half worth of price action. News completely invalidates any type of data point.
100%.
So when you see something like this, and we have chop, and then it all of a sudden drops $25, that has nothing to do with the data point you're looking at. That's just news that you can't control.
I say this. I don't know where I say it on. I used to say it on stream. I think I tweeted about it actually. I retweeted someone's. I retweeted something, or I tweeted something. I don't know. A catalyst will always throw the data out of the window. If there is news right now, right now is terrible price action, horrible day so far, absolutely trash. If there is news right this moment of a war, I'm assuming that it's going, the volume is going to skyrocket and prices are going to flush.
Mm-hmm.
So always, any catalyst will always override any of the market, any of the data, obviously, because it's a reaction to something new that just happened. I see another comment. What about looking at market profile and volume profile area? Jim Dalton, I've heard about those. Those are actually creating reports around market profile is very hard because not every platform, even if you use the same settings, will be able to recreate the same value area highs and lows. Like they have their own way of calculating. We actually we tried to build a report about market profile, and TradingView had one value area high and low. Then you go to NinjaTrader, it has a different one. Then you go somewhere else, it has a different one. Then you go somewhere else, it has a different one. You go to Thinkorswim, it has a different one. I'm like, we can't do this because we need it to be straight across the board. Like the IB high and low is the same every day. Or sorry, is the same across all platforms. So yeah, real-time data for sure, of course. I see another comment here, real-time data, but Relative frame rate, got pre-market action inside the value area. Yeah, the value area is the issues. Both of them for volume volume profile and market profile. Then I see another one. Don't agree about with time in range. I remember another day it turned out to be a ripper sell-off, abnormal time to break out. Yeah, that's just, it's not going to be one. This is the comment that I'm looking at here. What makes a choppy day is not going to be one criteria, one metric that we're looking at. Okay, theoretically being, okay, prices stayed in the orb for an hour, now it's going to be a choppy day. I would not say that. I would say when this happens and this happens and this happens and this happens, for every time that all of these conditions are met, 80% of those days have been a trash choppy day. That's the way that we're going to look at it. So if one of the conditions don't meet or whatever else, it's not going to like break the quote unquote model, if that makes sense. But
it's about as bad as it gets today.
This is the worst I've seen in a long time.
Jeez. But I did mention about it being inside day.
Yeah.
The solid stream. That is one of the criteria that I do use.
And this will also,
Dude, look at that load speed.
It was very
saw
good.
That? You saw how quick that was?
Let's not talk about Qs. We'll stay on SPY. This will be a nice reversion back down, and it's overdue a loss with how many days have broken out. What am I saying? So it looks like it goes on about a 2 win streak. This one was on a 5 win streak. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 win streak actually, and then a loss is due every now and then. So
yeah,
it's unlikely that we see 2 in a row. So if we see a day like next week where we have a big range like this, or it's stuck within that range, we can take a move to that previous day's high or previous day's low with a little more confidence, even though they are separate data points. I wouldn't expect it to have 2 back-to-back 1 out of 5 outcomes.
Yeah. I think that there's, no, we don't have it.
Jeez.
What's up?
Dude, I can't believe how slow this is.
Yeah, it's not great.
It's been an hour and a half. We haven't moved anywhere.
We're like factory back at the open.
I think Andre and myself on Stream Dealer just doesn't work. It's some kind of bad voodoo that comes from it.
I was thinking it was me.
No, it was Zinc and I had a pretty bad one the other day. It was
exactly like this.
It was like literally like this. But
actually try to go find it. I think it was right here. Thursday, January 15th.
Yeah, it was not great.
And this one also, this had a 2 p.m. Fed beige book. That's why it had the move down. So this, I would just view it as everything before 2 p.m.
Yeah. You kind of have to remove remove those days, but
I would view it like that.
Yeah. That was not great.
No, it was not.
Yeah.
But doesn't it feel good though? On a day like today where it is so choppy, it's a Friday, and you've not got drawn into anything. Do you know what I mean? You know, even knowing it's choppy, even knowing there's no trade taken, for me personally, it's going to be great to just walk away for the weekend now, avoiding that choppy price action.
Yeah.
Enjoy the weekend.
Oh, I'm going to have a great weekend.
Like max payout.
Full month of work on these accounts. It's going to feel great.
That's awesome, dude.
And that was almost entirely with trend trading as well as the IB.
Yep. And the inside bars too now, right?
Yep. Yeah, the big one was on, it actually ended up making me $300 on that SPY one. I can't remember what day it was, but I do remember you were on stream. I came in and mentioned SPY's IB or the previous day's high is intact, and you said that it already broke the low in MES. Oh, it was right here.
Yep.
So Thursday into Friday, this one SPY held it by, which is crazy that you had this much slippage on MES.
I know.
Like that's 25 cents a slippage on SPY versus MES.
Yeah. And I'm
And
sure
that's-
ES was going to be off as well,
Yep. Exactly.
especially in the overnight session.
So I ended up taking it over. I took it right at 50% of the IB, I think, and held all the way up.
Yeah.
Because they had a pretty nice retest. But yeah, those 3 data points, that's pretty much it.
Well,
I'm on a bit now.
it's 11. We're
Yeah.
taking 0 trades. Hopefully we've entertained you guys for the last couple of hours, but I think we're good to wrap this up today. Be careful, guys. Please don't try to trade 2 p.m. today. But
Also, do not take the boredom out on gold. That is the worst thing you could do right now.
you're going to be shorting it or longing it or
I'm not going
neither.
to be touching it. This doesn't seem very big, but this candle right here is everyone got used to this type of movement
Yeah.
where you just long it, but these are like 40-point candles on
GC.
gold right now, which on one MGC, 1 micro is $400.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's with almost every candle. I mean, last night I was watching on the 15-minute and made a 150-point candle in 15 minutes,
It's crazy.
which is $1.5 thousand with a micro.
Yeah. Trading GC, the minis is insane.
And I've seen people going in with, like on TikTok, they go in with 2 gold contracts, or they go in with 2 silver contracts
Silver is even crazier.
in this
Isn't it?
movement. And silver is $25 a tick.
Yeah.
$25 every penny it moves for 1 contract.
Yeah, that's insane. All right, guys. Well, I'm hoping that the recording was on of this.
No, it is.
It is. James is like just
I've got it.
freaked out a little bit. I think we're good to wrap it up here, guys. I hope everyone watching had a good day. I hope it was entertaining, at least with a few of our rants and chicken sexers. But
See, you'll remember that though.
yeah, now I'll remember
funny
for
story
sure.
to
I'll remember it.
And maybe if
But-
you ever go and rewatch White Collar, you'd be like,
That was from that stream.
yeah, intuition.
All right, guys. All right. James, you want to close it up?
Yeah, perfect, guys. 100%. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you back on Monday. Andrew and I are live back on Monday. Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Mr. Zink, and we'll check you guys all then.
All right.
Thanks for letting me crash it.